oracles of the divine will. I will sing to you of things most wonderful, which never were investigated by the intellects of ancient times, and things which have been long concealed from man. In fancy I delight to float among the stars, or take my stand on mighty Atlas's shoulders, and to look afar down on men wandering here and there, afraid in life, yet dreading unknown death, and in these words exhort them, and reveal the sequence of events ordained by fate. O sad humanity! Why do you fear alarms of icy death, afraid of sticks, fearful of moving shadows and empty names, of subjects harped on by the poet's tales, the fabled perils of a fancied life? Whether the funeral pile consumes your flesh with hot flames, or old age dissolves it with a gradual wasting power, be well assured the body cannot meet with further ill, and souls are all exempt from power of death. When they have left their first corporeal home, they always find and live in newer homes. I can declare, for I remember well, that in the days of the great Trojan war, I was Euphorbus, son of Panthous. In my opposing breast was planted then the heavy spear-point of the younger son of Atreus. Not long past I recognized the shield, once burden of my left arm, where it hung in Juno's temple at ancient Argos, the realm of Abas. Everything must change, but nothing perishes. The moving soul may wander, coming from that spot to this, from this to that, in changed possession live in any limbs whatever. It may pass from beast to human body, and again to those of beasts. The soul will never die in the long lapse of time. As pliant wax is molded to new forms, and does not stay as it has been, nor keep the selfsame form, yet is the selfsame wax, be well assured the soul is always the same spirit, though it passes into different forms. Therefore, that natural love may not be vanquished by unnatural craving of the appetite. I warn you, stop expelling kindred souls by deeds abhorrent as cold murder. Let not blood be nourished with its kindred blood. Since I am launched into the open sea, and I have given my full sails to the wind, nothing in all the world remains unchanged. All things are in a state of flux. All shapes receive a changing nature. Time itself glides on with constant motion, ever as a flowing river. Neither river nor the fleeting hour can stop its constant course. But as each wave drives on wave, as each is pressed by that which follows, and must press on that before it, so the moments fly, and others follow, so they are renewed. The moment which moved on before is past, and that which was not now exists in time, and every one comes, goes, and is replaced. You see how night glides by, and then proceeds on to the dawn. Then brilliant light of day succeeds the dark night. There is not the same appearance in the heavens, when all things for weariness are resting in vast night, as when bright Lucifer rides his white steed. And only think of that most glorious change, when loved Aurora, Pallas's daughter, comes before the day, and tints the world, almost delivered to bright Phoebus. Even the disk of that god, rising from beneath the earth, is of a ruddy color in the dawn, and ruddy when concealed beneath the world. When highest, it is a most brilliant white, for there the ether is quite purified, and far away avoids infection from impurities of the earth. Diana's form at night remains not equal nor the same. 'Tis less today than it will be tomorrow, if she is waxing, greater if she wanes. Yes, do you not see how the year moves through 4 seasons, imitating human life? In early spring it has a nursling's ways, resembling infancy, for at that time the blade is shooting and devoid of strength. Its flaccid substance, swelling, gives delight to every watching husbandman, alive in expectation. Then all things are rich in blossom, and the genial meadow smiles, with tints of blooming flowers. But not as yet is there a sign of vigor in the leaves. The year now waxing stronger, after spring it passes into summer, and its youth becomes robust. Indeed, of all the year the summer is most vigorous, and most abounds with glowing and life-giving warmth. Autumn then follows, and the vim of life removed, that ripe and mellow time succeeds between youth and old age, and a few white hairs are sprinkled here and there upon his brow. Then aged winter with his tremulous step follows, repulsive, stripped of graceful locks, or white with those he has retained so long. Our bodies also always change unceasingly. We are not what we were yesterday, or we shall be tomorrow. And there was a time when we were only seeds of men, mere hopes that lived within a mother's womb. But nature changed us with her skilful touch. determined that our bodies should not be held in such narrow room below the entrails of in our distended parent. And in time she brought us forth into the vacant air. Brought into light, the helpless infant lies, then on all fours lifts his body up, feeling his way, like any young wild beast. And then by slow degrees he stands upright, weak-kneed and trembling, steadied by support of some convenient prop. And soon, more strong and swift, he passes through the hours of youth. And when the years of middle age are past, slides down the steep path of declining age. This undermines him, and destroys the strength of former years. And Milon, now grown old, weeps, when he sees his arms, which once were firm with muscles big as those of Hercules, hang flabby at his side. And Helen weeps, when in the glass she sees her wrinkled face, and wonders why two heroes fell in love and carried her away. O time, devourer of all things, and envious age, together you destroy all that exists, and, slowly gnawing, bring on lingering death. Yes, even things which we call elements do not endure. Now listen well to me, and I will show the ways in which they change. The everlasting universe contains 4 elemental parts, and 2 of these are heavy, earth and water, and are borne downwards by weight. The other 2 devoid of weight are air, and, even lighter, fire. And, if these 2 are not constrained, they seek the higher regions. These 4 elements, though far apart in space, are all derived from one another. Earth dissolves as flowing water. Water, thins still more, departs as wind and air. And the light air, still losing weight, sparkles on high as fire. But they return along their former way. The fire, assuming weight, is changed to air, and then, more dense, that air is changed again to water, and that water, still more dense, compacts itself again as primal earth. Nothing retains the form that seems its own, and nature, the renewer of all things, continually changes every form into some other shape. Believe my word, in all this universe of vast extent, not one thing ever perished. All have changed appearance. Men say a certain thing is born, if it takes a different form from what it had, and yet they say that certain thing has died, if it no longer keeps the selfsame shape. Though distant things move near, and near things far, always the sum of all things is unchanged. For my part, I cannot believe a thing remains long under the same form unchanged. Look at the change of times from gold to iron. Look at the change in places. I have seen what had been solid earth become salt waves, and I have seen dry land made from the deep, and far away from ocean seashells strewn, and on the mountain tops old anchors found. Water has made that which was once a plain into a valley, and the mountain has been leveled by the floods down to a plain. A former marshland is now parched dry sand, and places which endured severest drought are wet with standing pools. Here nature has opened fresh springs, but there has shut them up. Rivers aroused by ancient earthquakes have rushed out or vanished, as they lost their depth. So, when the Lycus has been swallowed by a chasm in the earth, it rushes forth at a distance, and is reborn a different stream. The Ericinus now flows down into a cave, now runs beneath the ground a darkened course, then rises lordly in the Argolic fields. They say the Mysis, wearied of his spring, and of his former banks, appears elsewhere, and takes another name, the Caicus. The Ammonanus in Sicilian sands, now smoothly rolling, at another time is quenched, because its fountain springs are dry. The water of the Anigros formerly was used for drinking, but it pours out now foul water, which you would decline to touch, because, unless all credit is denied to poets, long ago the centaurs, those strange mortals, double-limbed, bathed in the stream, wounds which club-bearing Hercules had made with his strong bow. Yes, does not Hypanis, descending fresh from the mountains of Samartia, become embittered with the taste of salt? Antaisa, Pharos, and Phoenician Tyre were once surrounded by the wavy sea. They are not islands now. Long years ago, Leucas was mainland, if we can believe what the old-timers there will tell, but now the waves sweep around it. Zancle was a part of Italy, until the sea cut off the neighboring land with strong waves in between. Should you seek Helice and Burrus, those 2 cities of Achaia, you will find them underneath the waves, where sailors point to sloping roofs and streets in the clear deep. Near Pythaean Troezen, a steep high hill, quite bare of trees, was once a level plain, but now is a hill, for, dreadful even to tell, the raging